In today's video, we are going to be testing out the new Weaponsmith update and most of the arrows that came with it, trying to figure out which one is the best. Now, I won't be testing all of them because some are just useless to test out because there are better ones, and some I don't meet the requirements for. But before we get into the video, I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe because I am going for that beautiful YouTube rank. And make sure you guys join my Discord because we do a lot of giveaways. Now let's get straight into the video. So the arrows that I will be testing out are the icy, the glue, the explosive, and that's mainly it. Now the ones that I don't meet the requirements for, I will be explaining exactly how good they are because I know somebody that uses it and I know the use for them. Now we are going to be testing out icy, which is what you're going to be using if you want to do the most one-hit damage because it gives you 24 base damage. As you could see with the emerald tipped arrow, I'm doing about 113k, but with an icy arrow, I'm doing about 115k. Now the next arrow we will be testing out is the explosive. This one's very good, but it's only useful in some cases. The only time explosive arrows are going to become useful is in dungeons because it's very good for AoE damage since it has a 2.5 block range. So when most mobs are just clumped up together, you're able to hit most of them, and it's pretty good. Now the only flaw is you could actually kill yourself, which is pretty bad, but we don't really care about that. Now it especially gets good on the Terminator because you're actually able to shoot 3 explosive arrows compared to 1, which increases the range by even more. But if you don't have a Terminator, then bouncy arrows are probably the best one to use because you're able to hit one mob and have it bounce off to another and keep on going. Now the next arrow we are going to be testing out is the glue arrow, which freezes a mob, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I mean, right now it works, but sometimes it doesn't depending on what mob you're fighting, which is pretty annoying. Now the good thing about it freezing a mob for about 1.5 seconds is you won't miss a shot, but because it has a 6-second cooldown, it's not really that reliable. Now those are most of the arrows that I could test out, but I will be telling you about the armor shed and the Nansorb arrows. Now the Nansorb arrows are very good when it comes to the terracotta phase because all mobs are lined up in one area and the piercing just goes through one to another and it keeps on going. But since it has a cactus collection of about 8 or 7, something like that, you're not going to be able to use it because I don't know anybody in the world who actually has cactus collection 8 or 7. I only have 4. And the only time the armor shred comes into use is whenever you're fighting a mob with high defense because of the ability to take off 5% defense. Mobs like Withermancers and Necron have a lot of defense, so whenever you're fighting them, make sure you use an arrow swapper and swap over to that arrow. Which brings me into my next topic, which the arrow swapper is very good because saying you have a situation where you're fighting a mob with high defense, you could swap to it, or a mob with low defense and you need it clear, you could swap to bouncy arrows and all that. But yeah, that's mainly all the arrows they added to the game, which is pretty good. I mean, I really don't use arrows that much because I'm not an archer, so it doesn't affect me. But if you guys are an archer, it should affect you a lot if you use these arrows for those situations, so I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and finally, goodbye.